Hi, this is Dana, and in this video, uh, I will try to discuss the spiritual warfare from two different perspectives, and I will try to talk applied on an example. Essentially, we have witnessed a meeting between Russia and United States at high level in the margins of NATO reunions, talking essentially about Ukraine and sort of the bilateral engagement within the region, which essentially transforms into multilateral. This is important. Why in the spiritual warfare? Because this essentially is talking about, and we witnessed this, dialogue between Biden and Putin as well in the last few months. So this is important because we're talking about Russia and United States, which both uh, had throughout the Cold War the position of superpowers. Each had their own camp, and essentially they shaped up the world, the entire world, essentially. And although after the end of the Cold War, essentially many people have been talking about different forms of government, of global governance, in effect, actually, we never witnessed a full understanding. We only had temporary agreements between them, which later on were contested, especially by Russia, and claims of renegotiation and redesign of a new world order has been discussed for many years now. It was more um, insistent since 2005 with Vladimir Putin at Munich conference speech, and then with Vladimir Putin as president deciding to question and later on to suspend treaties of conventional arms control, then nuclear arms control, and so on. Now, this is important for us. Why in spiritual warfare? Because this essentially is a discussion of new world order. And if you go back to my video in which I talked about Yalta Agreement, you will see that all world orders and balance of power essentially come down to an understanding about how to divide power, how to divide governments, global governance. And in this matter, hidden bondages are the stake and the key in the discussion. Now, what I want to point out in this video is that the hidden bondages essentially play the role in bringing an outer cosmos warfare into 3D dimension. Okay. What it means, it essentially it is an outer cosmos warfare, which they attempt to confine it to the area of 3D, which is because of the bondage, hidden bondages, which I described already in the previous video about Yalta Agreement. It becomes, the 3D becomes a no man's land, where astral rules are not observed, due to all the fake karma created, the hidden bondages, um, due to breaking the rules of engagement according to astral rules, faking Akashic records and divine truth, stealing identities, and spiritual ranking, uh, along with the rights and the powers associated with those rankings. So what we are witnessing now, it's a discussion of renegotiating those agreements. It essentially, I would call it a new way of, a new way or a new form of Yalta Agreement. So if at Yalta, the whole world was shattered of physical damage of world war. We are now in a different time when um, we went through survival mode. We started already ascension. We were called and still are called to do bondage breaking, and we have a higher understanding over these issues. And as I explained in the previous video about Yalta, we now know, at least I am here to tell you, and I have been telling you already for some time, um, that this defines our existence. This determines bondages. It is a negotiation about our rankings, our powers, and our destiny for which we incarnated. So we are now in a better position to understand actually what was hidden. Because of the ascension, we can now understand. And this is why I made that video about the Alta Agreement. And this is why now I pick up the topic again and I draw attention because we are now after the end of a situational karmic cycle, which took place in December at the Karmic Board meeting. And so now the discussions um, over a new world order um, come in a totally different circumstance at a totally different timing when we have a much deeper and higher understanding of how these negotiations impact us, not only in terms of 3D life, okay, not only about division of power between countries, governments essentially, and so on, but also on spiritual level, because it is a spiritual dimension which is being negotiated at this agreement. And it is important, since we achieved this end of situational karmic cycle, and some people broke bondages. It is important now to look at this from a different perspective and to take a higher interest. I know from experience that foreign policy issues and security related issues are not of interest to the wide public unless it comes down to affect their material life in a way. But the purpose of this video is to show you that they do affect you because the negotiations are about you. Okay, essentially what is being negotiated is how to divide power among them, and the power that they divide among them is based on the hidden bondages, negotiating bondages on us to take spiritual ranking from us. We are now in a better position to do bondage breaking and to understand that, like it or not, you are enrolled in this war. Either that you do it consciously by breaking bondage, finding your lineage, and you finding your race is like finding your true army where you should align with your purpose. So either that you do it consciously like this, or if you choose to just ignore this, they will decide for you. That will mean essentially that you will continue to be enslaved. They will continue to do bondages on you, and they will use your identity, your ranking, your powers, your gifts, and of course your rights. All of these um, essentially define you and your existence here, and you are called to fight first of all for yourself. And through this video, you are called to understand to what extent these negotiations of world order actually concern you directly, regardless of how has been portrayed so far, like a foreign policy distant issue, just negotiation between governments and so on. It shouldn't be like so. Um, Most leaders, I will not say all because I didn't investigate or study all of them, but most leaders um, are in power because they stole your spiritual ranking and your rights. So if you count on them to make the right decision for you, um, you're wrong. I would just say it bluntly, you're wrong. They will make the decision which is being dictated to them by the secret societies who invested them in those powers, in those positions of leadership. This is why, through this video, I am essentially drawing attention to this topic. I am asking you um, to include this dimension in your spiritual fighting. Ask guidance and understand and try to understand um, in which way this affects you, in which way you are being used by them, and in which way can you change that in order, essentially, in order to bring into reality the divine will, the divine truth, and to achieve your divine purpose. Um, I truly hope that everyone will understand this is critical critical dimension which will define um, limitations of your spiritual warfare, and it can make it easier for you to step into your power and to take your rights back and assume your role, um, or it can make it harder for you. So I hope my message is clear enough. Again, it is a new world border negotiation which has been carried out for many years, at least since 2005. There's been stalemate in negotiations. I believe now that after the end of the situational karmic cycle, which took place in December last year, I believe that now there's a deeper understanding and better circumstance to advance these negotiations. In past, um, I know I did military school, so studying warfare and conflict for me comes part of my investigation of my part of my profession. But I know that it scares other people to talk bluntly about this. I will only say this: looking back, every time when balance of power was being negotiated, uh, always it came down to war. So, or it came after a war. So um, I would only say expect tensions and possible conflict. I will not call it bluntly war, but that is not totally something unthinkable. So this is why I'm saying this, so you will understand that this is really serious, and that you as individual, through your spiritual fighting and through you investigating yourself, how you fit into this picture and how you can, through your spiritual fighting, change things. So I'm telling you that you can do this. So if the perspective of war, full war, um, world war, I mean not regional, local, but world war, scares you, then keep in mind that it's up to you to contribute to this negotiation and to bring the divine will into it. Um, Again, if you have questions, please comment, ask. I will be happy to answer. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. So we'll make sure that the knowledge I'm sharing will reach as many people as possible. And if you feel inclined to support my channel and my work, then you will find the information in the description box below. Thank you.